going on, everybody? Welcome to the Contemporary Comrades Podcast. It's your boy Heavy J. Hey, I'm rocking some merch too, man. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You already know. Corn, say what's up to the people, man.
Yo, what is up? What is up? Today tonight we are doing the Peripheral review. So we about to get into this. This is a show that I'm glad we're doing. Um when I first saw it, I was like, yo, this is this is some next level type shit. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really happy to be getting into this, man.
Yeah, same. And I can't remember if it was my idea or if it was your idea.
Oh no, it was yours. It was
Oh,
yours.
okay, yes. But you put me onto the show though. So it's apparently been out since
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
October, and I
Yeah.
hadn't even heard of it. But Corn was like, "Yo, I just watched this episode of Joint Peripheral. Yo, that shit crazy." I was like, "All right, bet." Checked it out, dude. Honestly, I was hooked since the first episode. Like, I don't know. I don't want to say I felt a way about the show, but like the themes in the show kept me hooked enough to overlook a lot of the, I guess, lackluster things like lack of any problem resolution and things of that nature
Hmm.
in the show, or at least in this
Yeah.
first season. Because I mean, all they did was just compound problems and add characters at the end of the day. But at least it was nicely written in my opinion. Like, and I think the acting in it was great too. But I guess just to give a brief overview of what the show's about. Now, and yes, there are fucking spoilers in this shit. Or I guess, well, we're not monetized anyway. It doesn't matter. There are spoilers in the shit. So, so if you haven't watched the show, I suggest you watch the show and come back and then watch this. But give it a like and a subscribe before you leave. You know what I'm saying? And also, while you at it, shameless cheap plug, get some merch, man. Look at the hoodie.
Yeah.
It's cold
Yeah.
outside. You feel me? Look at the hoodie, man. Corn got the t-shirt on.
And if y'all want some hot chocolate, get the mug.
Hey,
come on.
hold
now,
up.
man.
Where's mine at? Bruh, you think we playing games in here? We're not playing no games. I got the mug on deck too, bro. Or I got the mug in there. This the glass. And as y'all can see, the quality is very, I mean, obviously it's dirty. I just drank out of it, but the quality's good, man. The quality's good. Links in the description, you feel me? Anyways, back to the regular scheduled program. Just a brief overview of, the Peripheral. It was basically, it's like, sci-fi kind of cyberpunk type vibes, but has a lot of very realistic ideologies in it. It has a lot of realistic problems in it. It has a lot of realistic themes that are being pushed on us too in it. So while it is sci-fi, fantasy, quote unquote, not real, whatever, in the time frames that they're talking about in this show, it basically takes place in 2032 and 2099. So basically, there's the girl. So Chloe Grace Moretz, that's the I guess the main character. Flynn and Burton, her brother. Basically, they live in fucking, I think it's South Carolina, right?
North Carolina.
North Carolina? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina. Her mom has a brain tumor and can't see. She's blind. And basically what they do is they get money to get her pills by basically playing competitive video games in VR. So like when the movie that's how it hits. When the show starts, I mean, I think they're playing it starts them off playing a VR game. It's like Call of Duty style shit. And then Burton hands off the headset to Flynn, and then or the headset to Flynn, and then she kind of goes in from there or whatever, finds the shit. That leads them into what ultimately transports them into the portal, if you will. So, how do I put this? Basically, this new crazy VR headset, it was sold to him as like, it's a beta test. You get a shit ton of money just to try it out. And you just have to kind of just play. But and the kicker is it's like you're really there, and that plays a big part into it too. Like quote unquote, it's like you're really there because it is like you're really there, as you later find out in the movie. I'm gonna say this one part, and I'm gonna ask you if you had anything to add to this here in a sec. But basically, this headset is it kind of looks like a bunch of hands, right? It kind of looks like that. And it's like silver or something like that. She puts it on. Flynn puts it on, and then ultimately, it instantly transforms into her brother's avatar, which I forget the name of. What the fuck they call them? They're do you remember what they call the bots, like the AI bots?
I forget what they.
Oh,
Yeah, I
they're
forget what
peripheral. Yeah, I think they actually call them their
they. Oh,
peripherals.
they call them peripherals.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. I think they actually called them their peripheral. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't just to let you know. I didn't binge this like Jaren. Jaren obviously he likes this show
I
way more than I did.
I
But
been in it.
I will say that I didn't binge. I watched this like sporadically, so I watched this like all over the place. Like I watched one episode, couple episodes another day. Then so I'm still like, you know what I mean. So that's the way. What did you binge? You didn't binge it?
Oh no, I binged it. Yeah, no, I binged the
Oh,
fuck
okay.
out of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember how many days, but yeah, I watched it
You
every night.
said I
I
don't know.
watched it every night until I went to bed until I finished it. Yes,
Oh, okay.
not
Gotcha,
like
gotcha.
start to fit. You know what I'm saying? Not like
Yeah.
from the moment I got home till I got. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
when I was chilling, that was what was watched for a
Okay.
few days, basically. And then I watched it again after that. But anyways, she goes in Peripheral. She plays as her brother. She ends up meeting this lady named Alita, and Alita, more or less, at long story short, Alita downloads essentially the keys to destroy and create worlds.
Pretty much the blueprint.
Yeah, the blueprint, the blueprint to like it's basically like the source code to the software that creates these worlds and shit like that. And like and not only that, it's all of this entire company's other research projects, which we'll get into. Because this show had a lot of common themes with what people like fuckers that we talk about on this channel, like the World Economic Forum and Bill Gates. Like this show would be their fucking wet dream.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you they'd be sitting here like this, watching it. Yep. Hey, that's not far off.
Hey, that's not far off.
I guarantee it. Because like I said, man, the show was, in my opinion, the show was it should be a wake up call for a lot of people in a lot of ways too. It's like hey, now look what they're showing you. And if we didn't mention it, this is on Amazon Prime. This isn't Netflix or anything like that. So that's where you can check it out as Amazon Prime, which I highly recommend you do. What was I talking about before that?
Just going through, just talking about how Flynn and Burton were going through the whole thing, and then how Alita downloaded the soft. I mean, not downloaded, but she pretty much downloaded all the software and the blueprint for the whole, creating the new worlds and the new realities that they have.
Yeah, true shit. They end up. I mean, there. After that point, there is a lot of fluff. There is a lot of excess character buildup that I feel like they could have done something else with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, like the hitman dude who tried to kill her after that they had that whole squad of motherfuckers that came to the house.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they could have done without him, honestly.
Yeah, because all that stuff just for him to die. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
because they gave us that whole plot device of he has a daughter, that's why he's doing it. I thought we were eventually going to get back to that.
Right.
And then once they killed him in the joint with the mom, I was just like,
so what was the
that's
point?
It. You know what I mean? I'm like, we definitely could have like had something else.
Right.
I 100% agree with you on that.
Right.
Yes.
And they had and they had him like call his daughter up and speak in like code and shit. Like, hey, this is your insurance company. We're terminating service. Like, they did this whole fucking thing, and then he dies like 2 episodes later, if that.
And what's funny? I meant to go back and watch that scene again. That was a good scene that they did, though. I will admit,
Oh, it was. It really was.
where he
No,
called the daughter and he was
yeah,
speaking, and I was like,
yeah.
bruh.
That was a great scene. Yeah, yeah. That shit was wild. She was like, "I'm
Yeah,
pregnant," and he was like,
and you could hear him choking up. He was just
"Yeah,
like, fuck,
yeah." It was good.
like, oh man, that was so good.
Yeah,
That was so good.
that was a good scene. Uh, but yeah, so that was one of my gripes with the show. Was the character, you know, introducing and then eventual, basically utter uselessness at the end of the day. Um, so basically, back to this VR headset though. I had some notes here on it. What they said this headset does is that it's not necessarily time travel, it's data travel. That's how they word it. So it's basically you're not time traveling um in the sense of like actual like obviously you're skipping time. You're transferring your data, your brain waves, your whatever the fuck over to another time frame that is also doing the same thing. Or no, but over to another time frame where the shit has already happened. Like there's this whole theme. I kind of want to. Do you have any more thoughts on like the first few episodes of the show? Because I kind of want to get into uh some of my points on episode 4. But do you have anything else you want to say about like maybe like the first three or something like that? Just the initial
Well,
your initial thoughts of the show.
are we gonna get into like characters too?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
we
Let's
getting
do
that
it.
kind of stuff?
Let's do it.
Okay, okay. Because I mean, I gotta say, man, the more the show went on, the more I actually, and this very rarely happens when I watch shows, especially shows that are like the new shows that come out in this day and age.
Hmm.
Um, the more the show went on, I actually started, caring about these characters. At the beginning, I'm just like, okay, this is your old hunky dory. That because I remember, I think I texted you that very first episode that I watched, and I was
Yeah,
just so amazed by it. But then,
yeah,
it kind of slows down a little bit in terms of the character development in those first few episodes. But then once I think around where you're trying to get like episode 4 or 5,
yeah.
that's when you start getting deep because like you don't get to learn more about Connor and Burton and that whole thing and their
Right,
relationship and everything until
right.
like episode, the
Shit,
later
5.
episodes.
Yeah, yeah. Something like
Yeah.
that.
So,
Out of 8.
but yeah, I mean, I gotta say, man, this show it does a lot of things right. It does most things right with this show in terms of the character development, in terms of the themes that it's giving you, in terms
Hmm.
of what it's showing us of what is actually happening um in this day and age.
Hmm.
Um, in terms of getting into the system, right? All right, so they put on a headset, right?
Hmm.
And I do kind of find that it's odd that she's better at video games than he is, but that's a whole nother thing,
Well, you
whatever.
know why they
But
did that, but
yeah, but
we all know why that is.
but what I will say is that I how do I say this without sounding like it makes it easier for people. Like if you were to sit down and watch the show, it does because it gives you more of an inside look of what virtual reality will be,
Yeah,
and it's giving you more of an inside look of how easy and how manipulative. How do you fucking say that word? Manipulative people can be, and not just people. You're talking about the admins of this entire
hmm,
structure of virtual reality
but it's not
that are
virtual though.
making things. Well, yeah, yeah, it's not
That's the
virtual,
that's the
but
fucky that's the mind fucky part about it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, Neuralink.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure Elon Musk was watching this show,
Sitting there like
watching that shit Indian style.
the one weed puff he took. Side note, he said that cost his company 5 years of drug tests, federal drug tests, to get to write that off. That shit had me dead because he had all these federal contracts and he technically breached them. But anyways, um, side note.
So dumb, so dumb. But Yeah, man. Like I do think because they make it look good. They make this shit look good for a reason, okay? And I am human, and there's times where I was watching the show and I was like, Call of Duty,
I know,
first
right?
person.
I
I
know,
mean, I
right?
mean, I mean, go back to the nightmare that Connor guy had, right?
Oh
Where
yeah,
he
bro.
was, where he had to go. He was old dude told him he was like, "Yo, I forget who it was. Was it Reese? I think the other friends. He was like, "Yo, there's a dog down there. Don't go." He's like, "You might have to shoot a dog."
Yeah.
And what he did. And to me, again, not to get into, but we talk about the morality and stuff like that on this channel. So I
Hmm.
feel fine talking about it, but I felt like they put us in that position because obviously, at the time we didn't know that was a dream, but they put us in that position of like, well, what do you do? You know what I mean? Do you go down there and try to save the dog? And then what happens when you make that decision, the right decision of going down there and saying, hey, I don't want to do this. So I'm gonna go down there try and save the dog, and then all of a sudden you see, boom, there's
Hmm.
the fucking so
And then the thing
I
that
mean it.
okay,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say the thing that got me about that moment was that he had enough time to where he saw the bomb to get up and run away. In my opinion, but he sat there.
So the thing is, because I was thinking about that too, but I think the way they did it was that it all happened at once. Like all that it happened so fast. So like, because not to get too technical, like with IEDs and stuff like that, but like when you turn over a dog and you see that it's beeping, you're done.
Hmm. I
You're
mean,
done
that's
skis.
fair. That's a fair point. Yeah.
So I think it just happened in such a slow, not slow motion, but it just in a like a slow methodical kind of climaxing, however the fuck you say that,
Yeah.
kind of way. I think that's the reason why it seemed like it took so long. Yeah, you turn over a dog and you see the shit's beeping, you're dead. Like
I
you're
mean,
not gonna be able to run
pretty
away.
much.
Um, yeah, but again, to go back to that moment, I do admire the fact they put us into that moral kind of moment of like, damn, because after that scene, you're thinking to yourself, you should have shot the fucking dog.
Hmm.
So, but at the same time, how many people are gonna do that? How many people are gonna, you know what I mean? So, I do. I think that was episode what.
I think that was 5.
Oh, that was episode 5. Okay, so okay. So I guess I don't have anything for the early episodes because all the I guess all the meat and potatoes of this whole thing are like in
It
the
was
like
really in the
few
later
episodes.
episodes. Yeah,
Yeah,
four,
I
four
think I
and
think
up.
the first 3 episodes were like I guess kind of world building
Yeah.
because I do believe. Oh yeah, because episode 2 they did have the squad people come through. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the this invisible. The people that were able to go invisible. Because that wasn't the clip, right? That was somebody
No, that
different.
was not the clap. That was they were basically uh um using a peripheral,
Yeah,
basically, but in the opposite way.
and yeah. So and they were basically dropping them into that reality.
Hmm.
Okay. Bet.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm
So I wasn't
pretty.
too
Yeah, I'm
far
pretty
off. I wasn't
sure.
too far off with that then.
No, and they
Um,
had their cars. They had had the invisible cars and all that shit too.
yep.
But no, well no. Are you talking about the first group of guys like that group
That
of like
rolled up
8?
on them on their compound. Well, not their compound because it's their house and shit, but
Yeah.
like on their property, rolled
So
up on them.
so they I can't remember if they said they ended up being, somebody's cronies or not, but it's weird because those guys were sent to kill them, obviously failed.
Hmm.
But then later on, when the deputy, I forget his name, uh,
Tommy, something.
yeah, Tommy, when freaking Tommy has the Irish guy, the hitman who died, who pretty much had his character was sort of pointless.
Hmm.
Um, when Tommy had him taking him to the station after that shootout on the bridge,
Hmm.
it was the fucking sheriff who had used the invisible car to fucking ram Tommy and get the hitman out.
Oh yeah. So that wasn't but that wasn't the sheriff. Remember
I thought it was.
that used the invisible car?
Yeah, to ram when they were on the way to the station to ram him and
Yeah,
pull
where
the
you had him in the
hitman.
back and then.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay, yeah. That's right. Because you dropped him off at Colby's at Colby, not Corby,
yeah,
Colby, whatever
whatever
the
the
fuck
fuck
his
his
name
name
is.
is, the guy with the
So
white
something
hair. Yeah,
Pickett. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Corbell Pickett.
Um, yeah, Corbell. But that's how you know it's the South.
You ain't
Niggas
lying.
still getting named Corbell. But
Corbell, I changed
Um,
this city around overnight. Pick
facts,
it.
facts, facts. But to go back to that moment too, because I feel like we kind of have to talk about the officer too, man. This is what's gonna end up happening in the real world, and I want you guys to really pay attention to to his role in this entire show,
Hmm.
because that's gonna be that. Like I know they made it with. I think it's gonna be him and old girl that's married to the dude that's connected to Pickett.
Oh
Those
yeah,
two
yeah.
characters, you are going to have to pay attention because I mean they represent your average person that is going to be connected to this kind of situation.
Facts.
Um, I don't see too many people going out of their way to try and this kind of technology at first. I still think technology in general is something that people, when it comes to putting things on your head, and so like, I still think most people aren't really that comfortable with like that kind of like the headset getting to brainwaves kind of stuff
Yeah.
until it's forced on us. So
Basically.
I think your average person is somebody that's still gonna be used to using technology every day, like everybody does now, but not to the extent of the way Flynn and Burton and Connor and all them were using it, right?
Right. He
So I
called it
did,
the
like I said,
haptics.
yeah. So make sure you guys, if you guys do end up watching the show like we did, make sure you guys pay attention to those two characters,
Facts.
the cop and then the friend, um, because they're acting in the exact same like it's whoever wrote this show. I think the dude from Westworld wrote the whole thing too. I'm not
I
sure,
think
but
him
I
and a
know
few.
he
There was a
had the
few writers. I think I saw.
yeah. So whoever did those two parts and wrote those two characters, they did it great because
Yeah, I
that's
agree.
literally how you're going to see it happen in real life. You're going to see people saying, "Oh, well, you can trust so and so," and blah blah blah. I cannot wait to get to the last to the last bit where we talk about her husband with the railroad checks.
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We gonna have to get into
Jesus Christ,
that.
man.
Yeah, we gonna have to get into that for sure.
She's
Um,
as soon as he made that phone call, I knew.
that was
Never
fucking
mind. Well,
it,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. We'll get into it.
I wanted to get back into the bad dream scene.
Hmm.
We were talking about a little bit earlier. Um, so I don't know if you remember in episode 5, they so that friend of Alita's took her down to the basically the highly restricted area of the research institute. That's what the main bad guys uh or bad girl in this case, that's her
Hmm.
her that's basically she broke it down like this, right? She said she said essentially, like, in order to control society you need to have it's like a three-walled house. She said it's us, the research institute, the cops, and the kleps, which were the people who fought, I guess, basically essentially fought against some of the system, but have all this money, wealth, and influence, and they kind of like live amongst each other now. Um, so she mentioned those three walls when she was talking to what's his name?
Alita.
No, not Alita.
Oh,
To
you mean Wilfred?
no, she was
Wilf?
talking to
Lev?
Lev. Yes,
Okay.
talking to Lev. I'm horrible with the character names
Yeah, me too.
unless I'm watching it, but you're way better than me at it. But she that's how she broke down the basically the three pillars that uphold this false, reality. Um, I mean, just to give you a couple examples of how of it's real people with real lives, but their whole environment is manipulated. They could, just by going like this. I don't know if you can see it.
Make people
Just by doing
disappear, right?
that, they were fucking dude. They were making the entire background, like the entire cityscape, change to what it actually looked like.
And it can make people disappear
Make
too.
people disappear. Like a lot of the people walking around are simulated, and we'll get to why, because I got notes on why. Um, we gonna go in that, and we gonna have to go in on that a little bit. But anyways, to get to the dream scene, um, down something that people probably didn't pick up on. when Alita's friend took her down after she basically like bribed her to go out with her and get a drink and cheat on her husband, which they just kind of brushed that off like it wasn't nothing. But that also happened with Alita. um, when they got down there to this highly restricted area of the research institute where they do all these fucky things, so they mentioned here they called it the God font, and basically what it was an upside down gold cap pyramid. So if you know anything about occult, if you know anything about Freemasonry, anything like that, you know what a gold cap pyramid means. I'm not. This ain't the show for that. go
Okay.
go look that. Go Google it. No, I don't even use Google anyway. So that's what it was, but it was kind of glowing like a greenish color. And basically what they do with it is they alter different realities, and they alter these realities in separate sectors of commerce. So like agriculture, science, education, healthcare, like you name it, they're running tests on people by altering the realities in which they live in, and while these people think that this is real shit.
Yep.
And they measure what happens, and basically. So I thought that was very pertinent to what's essentially going on now, because if you don't create your own reality, somebody's going to create it for you, and you don't
Yep.
want the reality they're creating for you.
Fuck no.
You
Fuck
really
no.
don't want that. So basically, so I want to get into those haptics. So you know how they were all tapped into each other with the it looks like a USB signal on their fucking forearm. And we lost your corn.
I know I cut my video off. I'm trying to fix my mic.
So anyway, yeah, they have these haptics on their forearms, and basically what they can do is they can harness, so they can tap into each other. So they can, it's basically like there's two souls in one body. Essentially, they can feel what the other person's feeling, et cetera, et cetera. And they were all tapped in to these haptics, and they still have them. And they basically said that on this God font shit, those haptics it was a contract purchased by the United States government. That's what they say in the show. They literally use United States government as the wording in the show to basically have the soldiers subjected to these haptics, or have these haptics implanted in them, which are basically brain chips. It's essentially kind of like the headset that's worn. You know what I'm saying? That Flynn wears. But it's implanted in their forearm, and they can see it through their eyes and shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, they mentioned that their main focus of that was behavioral modification, and the very reason that what's his name? I can't remember his name. Got 3 out of 4 of his limbs blown off.
Connor,
yeah. The reason why Connor got 3 out of 4 of his limbs blown off was because it was a test simulation. They said that they fired basically certain neurons in the brain that tapped into the compassion part of the brain as an example to coerce each person to act a different way than normal in a given situation. But they said you never know how somebody's going to react because it was based on the quote-unquote mysteries of personality, is what they called it. So basically the things that make us individual. They even admitted in the show that they didn't have all the answers, and there's still things that make us individuals that they'll never be able to figure out, or at least not by the timing of the show, at least not in the next 70 years.
which I thought was actually a good thing, because in real life, that's what it is. I mean, humans will never be able to be 100% duplicated. So I do think that is something that's very realistic.
Absolutely. For a sci-fi show, keep in mind that this is supposed to be fiction, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
fiction.
yeah. Yeah. So basically, that whole entire scenario, which we learned of from a PTSD bad dream, where he got his his limbs blown off. That whole entire scenario was created by the research institute and put in front of them and put in front of all the soldiers, and they tested how each one would react and see what happened, and that was their outcome. That was their particular outcome. And then in that scene, Alita's like, "How could you? They're people." And they're like, if she basically is like, "Fuck you gonna do about it?" More or less, like
And what
so,
are they doing right now?
pretty much. And not to mention that war that they were fighting was in Texas in 2025.
Hmm.
Who had seceded from the United States and became a sovereign nation. I'm just that's what the show portrayed.
Do you think that's going to happen? We know it's a possibility,
We do know it's a possibility.
but do you think right now, right here, right now, do you think that is going to happen within the next 5 years?
Damn, that's tough, bro. I my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my answer. I honestly I would hope not. I would like to think not a lot, but at the end of the day, we know what they're capable of, and if shit ain't going to plan, I could see it happening. Yeah, I really could. I don't know about it, specifically in Texas or some shit like that,
Hmm.
but uh, but yeah, I could totally see it happening.
Yeah, I could totally see Florida doing it probably.
You really think you can see war in Florida?
Probably.
Fuck.
Just because I mean, you have a lot of people that really. Again, I don't know. I could definitely see it. I'm not saying it's going to happen within the next 5 years and no shit, but I could definitely see it happening. Yeah.
I feel that. You think? I feel like a lot of the super populated states and cities. Um, I mean, obviously that would make sense if some shit were to hit the fan. It would,
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anything popping off in like no Iowa or Wyoming. Stuff. You know what I
or
mean? Like I don't see nothing
right,
popping off
right,
in
right.
no states. So I mean,
Montana
I'm
and
thinking,
shit. Like ain't nobody,
yeah,
what I'm saying? Ain't nobody.
I'm thinking,
People
yeah,
gonna be running them
yeah,
states to get away.
yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Should give me
facts.
30 acres in Montana. I don't be
Yeah.
ghosted like that one dude.
Hmm.
Fade away and shit. I'm out, bro. Peace. The real one's gonna hit. I'm gonna keep in contact with my niggas and shit. You know what I'm saying? But deuces. If that were the case. Um, but yeah, that's one thing that I found interesting was that God font and that whole how they essentially created that entire scenario for him for them to see how they react, and that was what happened, and it had real world repercussions. You know what I mean?
Which also reminded me of the the quote unquote God particle as well, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
or I'm sorry, the God gene. I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean,
There's
look,
both. So
the whole situation where she kind of laid out. I mean, I understand that us as a viewer, we had to see what was gonna be. What is this all made up of? So I
hmm
understand they had to show us that, but for them to bring Alita down there, and then for what we see what happens later with Alita, and what's uncovered of all the information that she does have,
yeah,
and then what she later on tells us about them suppressing their memories and stuff like
yeah.
that, and then once she took out the fucking what was it, a chip or
Pull the joint out the
whatever it
back of
was,
her neck. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and what do they call it, like RI or something like that, and once they pulled it out, she was like, oh, guess what started coming back, memories, and then I remember Wilfred was like, memories, and she's
Yeah,
like, all of them, and I was just like, oh my god.
yeah, bro. They got
Like,
motherfuckers
dude,
sedated.
I'm like, dude, they went all out on this
Yeah,
shit. Man. They went all out whenever they were like, you know what? The
mega
world's ending.
facts.
We might as well at least give them, throw them some crumbs, man. Throw them a bone.
Right,
Throw the people a bone and
right,
at least uncover some shit, man. Because
right.
Jesus Christ, when because I was like, yeah, of course it's a show, so at least we're gonna see them get some of their memories back. As soon as we start mentioning memories aren't coming back and stuff like that, it's just, or they suppress their memories, you already know at the end of the day they're gonna get some memories back. But for
Facts.
her to say that when she pulled it out and said that she got all of her memories back, and I was like,
Instantly,
bruh,
instantly.
they ain't playing around.
Uh-uh.
They are not playing
You're
around because
fucking shut
they could have
off.
easily, yeah, they could have easily said, you know what, let's just make it to where she gets some of her memories back. Hell, let's make it to where she gets the important memories back. But
Right,
they specifically meant for that line to be in there that she got all her memories back from just taking out the chip that was planted in her.
right.
Like, bruh,
Yeah, that shit's crazy,
don't do
bro.
it.
And then she
Don't
was
do
out.
it when it comes around. I'm telling
Uh-uh.
y'all.
Uh-uh. Cause and they did have segregations of society there because where Alita was at, you know, we're out in the country and shit. It
Hmm.
was a whole group of people who had taken them shits out, was living on
Yeah,
the land
yeah,
out in the country,
yeah.
like no technology, bro, none.
I wonder. Well, yeah, that's yeah.
Like I didn't see them motherfuckers with knives. They had like handmade. It was like Indian style weaponry and shit, if I remember correctly.
Like Avatar or some shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could be wrong on that. If I remember correctly, though, I don't remember them having any actual weapons or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I was about to say I don't I was like I didn't catch that part because I do remember seeing Alita out there because that was when she was wearing that fucking black jacket, right?
Yeah, and all and I had she
Yeah.
had and then all the other people. I forget what they called them. Not Kleps, but something else. I forget what they
Hmm.
called them. Oh, the shit. One of Lev's the chick crony, the Irish chick that was Lev's associate mentioned what they
Hmm.
called it, but I can't remember what the fuck they called it.
Yeah, there's so many words in
Yeah,
this
there's
show.
a
So many,
lot of it's like it's got its whole
a
own
lot of labels and
vocabulary and
shit.
shit.
Yeah.
Shit's wild. Um, I think I
Oh yeah,
might.
he did.
What's that?
Lev, I just want to say, just on like a plot point, Lev is he gonna catch a fade
Yeah.
next
Oh.
season.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you
It's
got
coming
old girl
soon.
against you, you got old dude against you too, your own people, then you got fucking Flynn, bro.
It's coming soon.
He gonna catch that fade next season.
Yeah. How did you feel about Cherise, the head of the research institute? How'd
Oh,
you
the
feel about
queen
her
bee, right?
character?
Um, well, obviously you don't like her,
Right.
but but I still cannot really pinpoint um what I hate this. I'm trying to find a word to say this, but pretty much who she would represent in real life or what she would represent in real life. Um, Obviously a form of government, but I just don't know what form of government she would represent that I could
It wouldn't be
pretty much
government.
compare her to.
It'd be above government. She would her and the research institute would represent like if Google, Tesla, Amazon, the government, um, and and Boston Dynamics and all them got together and had a baby. Like all the think of all the companies that are pushing AI, pushing all this next level shit. Elon with the Neuralink, you know what I'm saying? Boston Dynamics with the robotics and the AI and the physical robot AI things, and um, all the governments and all their contractors. Like it's kind of like that shadow, you know.
Isn't it weird though that towards the end of well, I said the end of the show, but the show's not over. But towards the end of the season, that they tried to make her seem like she has like some good in her.
They did do that, yeah, they did
I thought that was kind of odd because
because
I don't
it
think that
was.
that would happen in real life. I absolutely do not think that anybody would ever be able to get that close to somebody like that
Mm-mm,
at that stature,
mm-mm.
on a totem pole. I was shouldn't say on a totem pole, maybe
But
on a
you,
food
but you,
chain.
you
Probably
can if they
more
want you around. If they need you
for
around them
food.
for a certain reason, then you can get that close.
No, mm,
Yes and
A
no, I guess.
a
Yeah.
normal person like Flynn though. That's what I'm saying. Like they make the way they did this show is they just made it. It's like you got a Marine and his sister. So like I mean, but that doesn't even matter because the way they make Burton, like the background, the importance that they made Burton
Mm-hmm.
is that this isn't about him. So it's not like he just so
That's
happens to
facts.
have military fucking experience,
That's
but
facts.
it's not like it's like you were chosen and blah blah. It's just like hey, you guys are here. You guys fucked with the algorithm. You guys, your brother chose to do this to accept this beta. Now you guys are in the system because you tampered with whatever the fuck was going on in our system, and now
Yep.
you're a part of this. I don't think
Yep.
that the Queen Bee lady, what was her name again? But the
Uh,
uh, but I don't think the Queen Bee
Charisse.
lady, Cherise. Yeah, I don't think Cherise was in real life. Somebody in Cherie's position would ever go anywhere near your average person using this, even if they did tamper with the software. But I mean, look, I could obviously be wrong because if you tamper with the software in its beta phase, yeah, I think that yeah, somebody on at the top of the fucking food chain might come down and say, or I guess in this case it would be what equivalent to an admin, one of the admins, right?
Yeah. But
So,
but the reason, but I would say the only thing I would say to that is that Flynn's not average in this case because she was ultimately baited by Alita
mhm,
to be a vessel to house the code at the end of the day. Because if you remember when she
yeah,
took her there on the first episode, she held her eye up to the fucking uh shit. What was it called? The God font thing,
yeah. Mhm.
and
And then
then
she
and
that's
it
when she
was
felt the
and she felt the shit in her head. Yeah, and it was a
mhm,
real eye, not the eye that she had pulled off of the chick and fucking used to get in there.
mhm, yeah.
So like, and only
And
that
then
that
they never did replace her eye too, didn't they? They never did they? Because
well
remember she went in
well
and
she
tried to get
got
it
she
done,
got
and
her
then they
own
freaked out.
peripheral. She got her own peripheral. Remember, so they didn't have
Oh
to.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Her
yeah,
brother's peripheral would like end up dying or whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um. And then they figured out it was her. I don't know how they
Mhm.
didn't mention how the fuck they figured out it was her after that, but they
Yeah,
did.
yeah. That's one of the things
They're
where I
just like,
just
oh, we know
yeah,
it's you.
yeah. That was one of
Here's
the
your
things where I was just
peripheral.
like,
Yeah, that shit. That
that
shit was
ending was
weird.
mad rushed.
Yeah, yeah, facts.
It's like I blink, and then the next thing you know, oh, she's asking old dude to offer, and I'm just like,
Right.
wait, what? Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I gotta say, Cherise. I mean, look, she is what your I wouldn't even say normal, but she is what your evil person is gonna do. Your evil, powerful person that has always been in control
Oh, facts.
for as long as they remember is gonna do in that position. They're look again the ending part where it's like, oh, there's a Cherise and Flynn,
Mm,
that's just for the story, man. That's just
facts.
for the story that Cherise and Flynn are connecting, and Cherise now has a gives a crumb of goodness to Flynn for Flynn to say now it's going to be her and Cherise running through season two. Um, I guess up against old girl. I guess the whole fucking organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this point,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end, I forget the bald head chick's name. But she's getting pissed off because she's like, oh shit, she already got the upper hand on her, trying to get the info, and she's like, well, I can't. Now I got to go after old girl's family
Mm-hmm.
and try and go on them and try and erase, make sure that doesn't happen.
Yep. She wants to
It's
kill
a
him
lot
in
of stuff going
airtime.
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on in the show, but I mean, I feel like the whole Charisse thing, they could have sped up the whole thing with her sitting down with Lev and
Mm-hmm.
his crew
Mm-hmm.
that whole time, and then making. I do like the fact that because I thought for sure they were gonna have Wilford just slip out. I'm glad that they kept Wilford there for that
Yeah.
visit. That was a pretty good
Yeah.
scene,
Yeah.
but I felt like they could have kind of sped that up a little bit to kind of
Yeah.
get to the point.
They did. They really did. Which I mean, they did try to cram a lot in it. Like I wish these shows. Here, this is just a little gripe of mine. I wish these fucking shows that are this good, this packed with information, would do more than 8 fucking episodes. Like I get it, you got a budget, you know what I'm saying? You got timelines and shit. But dude, as epic of a show as this is, make it 10 episodes
Yeah,
and
that's
do
the
it the
new norm
fucking
now.
right way.
Yeah, the new norm now is 8 to 10 episodes,
Like,
sometimes six.
yeah, sometimes 6 or 7. Yeah, yeah. It's fucking bullshit. Like, make the sum of bitch 10, 12 episodes. Like, let's if we're gonna make a show, let's make a fucking show.
Facts,
You see what I'm saying? But I don't know.
facts.
It's just my gripe. Like, this show easily could have been 12 episodes
Yeah,
and still would have been engaging.
it should have been 12.
It should
I
have
would
been
go. I
12
would go
episodes.
further and say it should have been 12 because
Yeah,
yeah, like yeah. Okay, it needs more time to breathe too.
yeah,
That's the thing.
100%.
It's just like you go from like I'm thinking like episode to I can do episode to episode where it's like, all right, I can process the information and go into the next episode. But when it's all in like you got three different fucking things going on that you need very like it requires a lot more detail.
Right.
Three things going on. And it's just one thing after another, after another, after another in one episode. And then you get to the next episode and one of those things is left out, and then you continue it in the episode after that. And it's just like now I got to go back and remember,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? It's because it's such very, you have to get the details in this show.
Yeah,
This is one of those shows where you can't just sit there and be like, oh, you know, look down and oh,
right. Look at your
you're gonna
phone or
miss it.
anything. You
You're
gotta
gonna
like be
miss it.
dialed. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a fact.
yeah.
That's a fact. And that's why I had to watch it twice because like the first time I was kind of like, I was dialed in, but like I missed a lot of shit. I've watched it. I watched it intently twice, and then a third time just to refresh myself because I watched it a few weeks ago. I've just been kind of throwing it on and kind of BSing here and there. And every time I've watched it, I've caught new shit in the show
Mhm. Yeah, it's one of those shows where you're gonna do that. You're gonna catch new shit every time you
every
watch it
single
for at
time.
least 5 or 6 times because
Yeah,
there's just so much stuff in it.
like the whole conversation with Wilf and his mom. I missed that the first 2 times I watched it somehow.
Yeah, I definitely missed that one.
Like that, again. That's one of those like he had a whole conversation with his mom trying to find Alita, and like that's what led them to. There was some guy had died, and she said it was like where it last snowed in London or some shit. It had that whole thing. Like, see, like that part, I didn't even pick that up until I watched it this third time, literally.
Damn, was that before he met Flynn or after?
Oh, it was after. It was after.
After? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So like again, there's so much like just little 5 minute nuggets in the show or 2 minute nuggets in the show where you're just like you gotta be like, yeah, it's crazy.
How did you feel about Wilford as a character, by the way?
I felt like I understood him, but at the same time, I feel like he was also a bit neutered.
Hmm. But neutered in what way though? Because we might be thinking different neutered.
Neutered in the sense of like I mean he was kind of subservient. He had always kind of been treated second rate, even even the shit they showed in his childhood and shit.
Hmm.
Um, which we'll get into a little bit about that time frame of his childhood later. And I don't know, man. I just feel like I mean they did so much agenda pushing in the show, right? Like
Hmm.
all the like basically all the main characters are female, all of the powerful characters are female, except for the
Lev
sheriff and Lev, which Lev and his cronies, but
and
they
Pickett.
painted them as
Yeah.
Russian. They're Russian kleps. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
of
Yeah.
course they're going to be, but anyway, so like they did do some agenda pushing, but then like of course Wilf was forced to change his name just like they did in slavery. He
Hmm.
was uh you know second rate to Lev, but he was kind of like a wild animal for Lev. Like he respected him enough to know what he was capable of, basically,
Hmm.
if he so chose. But it fucked him up so bad that he kind of went into a shell and never came
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
basically. So
Yeah.
he felt a little neutered in that sense to me. Like he just was carrying trauma he didn't need to carry, and then he's been carrying that trauma so long it's brought him to this life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
typical depiction of black men shit in film. They're carrying a trauma that they never let go, and it fucks them up, and then here's their lot. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I
Yeah.
felt about his character.
There, I mostly agree with you. There were times where, like, when they would, especially when like Flynn would need help fighting, just little stuff like
He
that,
just
where I'm
chilling.
just like,
That's what I'm saying.
and I'm like
Neutered.
I can understand where they're coming from and writing this character and having him not wanting to, but then when you learn later on that he actually killed plebs, and I do want to ask you this question too. So he was talking about when he was a kid and he killed some of the leaders from the plebs, right?
Yeah.
Remember he said he was telling that story about how he was, so
That,
he
that,
was a kid still, right, when he did that?
yeah,
You-
that's how he met Lev. Was he
Okay, okay,
killed the leader and four of his henchmen, four of his
yeah,
best
yeah,
henchmen. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I just want to make sure because I was like, wait, was he a kid? Because I remember they did the flashback later on with him and Alita
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. So,
Yep.
but yeah, I mean, mostly with this character, look,
Which I don't know if we said, but Alita's his sister.
we say that. Wait, say that again. I think you froze up a little bit just now.
I
Or
said I don't know if we said that, but Alita's his sister.
yeah, older.
Oh yeah, yeah, older
Um,
sister. Yeah.
and but to go back to what you were saying about Wilfred overall as a character, I agree. But there are times like throughout the show where I'm like, you know what? I fuck with Wilfred
I
or
did fuck
Wilf.
with him. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, yeah,
But then you get to the point where because you have to understand where he's coming from too when he's in that space. So like
yeah,
like when Flynn was when she was like going in and out of her peripheral, right? And he
yeah.
would it's just some weird stuff, man. Like this really makes it seem, and I believe you said this before. I think we were talking about it obviously off the record or off camera about it about the show when you were saying that it also gives you some warning signs.
Oh, absolutely. You.
And Wilfred's character, as much as I fucked with him, also has some warning signs. Falling in love with yes, it is a human soul, but it's in a peripheral body. And I think we've had that conversation before where it's like, hey, and I think this is probably back in the Adam days when we had this conversation because I think we went around and asked each other like, would you
We surely
be able
did.
to fall in love with somebody if it was a human soul but in a different kind of
We
in
surely
a
did.
VR body or a different kind of uh, virtual body, right?
Yep. And the thing is, it's virtual bodies in a future world with real people in that future world too.
Yeah,
So that basically is
yeah,
telling you that time's not linear.
yeah. And
Well, that's
if you
what it's
go back
depicting.
to Blade Runner, y'all should know that.
Facts.
Oh, y'all should know that. But anyways,
Facts.
um, it's also a lot harder too. I will say it's a lot harder in this world to figure out whether somebody, I shouldn't say in this world, but in that reality of this show, of whether someone is actually human or not. Because remember, Flynn kind of held that for a little bit. Did they already know off the bat? Obviously Wilfred knew, but did Lev know off the bat that she peripheral?
Uh,
She was in her peripheral.
did let? I think he did. Yeah, yeah, he did.
Oh, okay, okay, so I could be wrong there.
Yeah, I think he did.
But um, yeah, man. Look, I like Wilfred, but like you said before, warning signs. I think with him falling in love with Flynn and that whole thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm still even still to this day, I'm still trying to figure out like, is it that he feels like she could be his love? Does he feel like he's called to that whole thing? And again, I've never been a guy that likes romances in most of my entertainment. I just
Same.
never have.
Same.
Action movies, superhero movies. There's only a handful of romances I like on screen. I just feel like it's forced. There's so many situations where it's like there's nobody would ever fall in love with this fucking situation, especially when it's muted and like this. So why the
Yeah.
fuck are we doing this? Why are you
Yeah.
wasting time with this? But you also have to understand it from Wilfred's point, which although I wouldn't agree to do that in real life, I wouldn't even come close to doing that in real life. But you also have to understand when you do the things, when you go through what Wilfred went through, even though we have our gripes, as you just mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
about why and why they did that. But when you go through what that character went through and you're put into that position and you're put into this world or that different world, it's like, damn, man, what do you have? in terms of emotion. And yeah, it's funny because I did a video earlier or yesterday where I was talking about people just want to feel something. So the
Yeah,
fact that you put somebody in this world and they know all this shit ain't real, they know just by doing this,
yeah, fucking
there's nothing here, nothing, if not no one there
right.
either. So when you just do this to go back and you see that, oh, there's, whether it's souls, whether it's, whether they are human, whatever, you want to feel something. You want to talk to it. I mean, imagine. I know we would never do it, but imagine being in that kind of world, Jay.
Yep,
Right? Imagine being in that kind of world, and we already know the kind of mental and emotional bullshit that people go through in 2023.
yep.
So imagine being in 2032 or hell 2099 and being in a virtual reality. I keep saying virtual reality world because I keep thinking just headset virtual reality, but in a different reality, in a linear, when time is linear with other universes or realities or timelines. Imagine being somewhere where you're not familiar with. You got nobody. You're there,
Yeah.
and and you know that these aren't real people. At least most of these people that are here aren't real. So,
And you got somebody
or
else holding
maybe
the
not
remote
physically.
control.
Yeah, yeah. At least not physically real, right?
Yeah.
So imagine being in that world and being told you're going to be here for this long, or hell, you don't even know how long you're going to be there
Until the job's done, and we
till the
still
job's done.
and we know what it is, right? Is get the data to the right hands so that they can create their own new world.
World. So until the job gets done, which is going to take it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
You
At least
fall in
another
love,
season.
or maybe not fall. Well, yeah, for another season. In our timeline, another season. But
Yeah, right, right.
but going back to that world though, would you? I mean, would you at least look for emotion, or are you like, look, man, let me just
Of
go ahead
course.
and get this job done and get this. I mean, you got it again. You don't. For us, we could be like, oh yeah, you could take the headset off. You're there for 3 hours, whatever. It's some crazy stuff's going to be happening in terms of that whole thing. By the way, I just want a side note. I do think you're going to be able to put on your whatever the fuck, and it's going to feel like 7 hours, and you're going to take it off, and it's only been like 45
Oh,
minutes.
yeah, for sure. For sure.
But um, but I do think that when you put somebody in that kind of world, they're going to be looking for it, no matter who they are. I can't even say I wouldn't do that because I don't know. I don't,
Right.
if I'm there for however long and I'm like fuck, I'm like damn, she kind of feel, well, she's gorgeous. Let me go, and you know what I'm saying. Let me go see, talk to her, see what's up, whatever. So like I
But that's the thing about it too, though, is like there was no sex in the show
yeah, yeah.
at
I
all.
thought it was surprising, but I also didn't think about it either because
I
until you
did
said so.
right, right.
So
But you said that, and that made me think. Hey, there was actually no sex in the show.
yeah, I didn't even like. I mean, if you were to ask me, I'd be like, no, there wasn't. But like now you say something, I'm like, damn, like
But there were
there
young
wasn't.
kids. They never mentioned how they became to be.
Yeah,
But there were young kids,
true.
but no sex. So I found that interesting after thinking about it, which was like look at Japan, look at I think I can't think of all these any of these other countries at the moment that are not having sex, and their birth rates are dropping to the point where certain towns, like there's like a town in Japan that doesn't have children in it. It's only got 40 people, and the population is set to be eliminated because nobody's having kids.
That's crazy. But I do believe it because we live in a kind of world right now where people are. I don't know how deep we want to get into that topic, but
Not necessarily too deep,
okay,
but it just
okay,
was a
never mind.
thought. Was
Okay,
like they probably put no sex in it for a reason. You know what I mean? To keep with
yeah,
the dystopian theme.
yeah,
If I had to
yeah.
guess, but there was romance. I mean, it was kissing, right? But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, to kind of caveat on that whole romance thing too, is that I do think that that was put in there because now that you mentioned, hey, there's no sex in there, there's no, it wasn't even no getting carried away kind of shit in
no,
there.
not
You know what
even,
I'm saying?
not even.
It wasn't even like no making out in it. So
Mm-mm.
to me, I think that they just wanted to put enough in there to show you that that's probably as much as we're gonna get
That's
emotionally,
fucking
physically,
crazy.
emotionally. I hate trying to say that shit.
Right,
Emotionally, physically,
right.
or emotionally, physically, emotional.
Physically emotional. There you go.
Yeah,
There
we'll
you
go
go.
that way. To being
There you
physically
go.
emotional, I think that is going to be the I won't say the bare minimum. I say probably the maximum we're going to get in the future, because I think people are going to. I don't even know how they're even going to spin it. To be honest, to be
Right.
in the
Yeah.
future,
We'll see.
for people to not even want to have sex. I don't know. That's weird because you would think in a world like that. I mean, look at what we saw in God damn it, in Upload,
Oh, facts.
and then go to what we saw in the episode of Black Mirror where they had to go on the treadmill and do that one dude that was beside Daniel Kaluuya on the
Mm-hmm.
bicycle in Black Mirror. All he was watching was porn.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that
Exactly.
there's going to be some kind of disconnect somewhere in the future to where people are going to be put off by sex. I don't know
Yeah.
how that's going to happen or why that's going to happen.
Right.
Well, we know why, but I don't know how it's going to happen.
Right.
I'll say that. But yeah, good catch on that one though, because I didn't even I didn't
Yeah.
even think about that there weren't any fucking sex scenes in the shit.
Yeah. It was
Not
interesting
even remotely.
compared to how they like to hypersexualize everything. It was interesting. I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, but as we know, they had bigger
Bigger fish to
bigger
fry.
fish to fry
Most
on
definitely.
on this one.
Most
So
fucking definitely.
yeah,
Now
yeah.
I want to get into real quick what I well Barry not gonna be quick, but what I felt was probably one of the most telling and most real world applicable parts in the whole show. And this was in episode 4 where um good God, I'm horrible with these names, bro. Oh my gosh. Flynn. Where the Irish chick who's cool with um
Love.
no. Well, she was kind of controlling Flynn when she was in the peripheral, but Lev's crony, the chick who basically ended up discovering that Flynn had the bacteria which held the information from the research institute in her head.
And
That
told the
that
ball headed chick.
yeah, exactly. Told the bald headed chick. But
The Dora Milaje.
so her Wilf and Flynn went to that graveyard
Hmm.
and they brought up that basically depiction of how the world got to the way it was. Because at that point, I think if not that point, it might have been a couple episodes after. Wilf showed her how he could turn off the filter on how
Hmm.
everything looked and everything was ratty and fucking beat down and broke down and fucked up and shit. And
Yeah,
there was like no people left.
yeah.
There was like no people.
And it's
So
weird how they got to that point too. It's weird how because in that moment it felt like to me, to go back to the whole emotional thing, that he revealed that to her because he wanted to have that. To me, it was late at night when I was watching this too. So like to me, I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, okay, this dude's trying to set the mood or something
right.
because she had already asked. I think that was when she asked him if he had feelings for her, or no, I think she had asked him what he does when she's not there or some shit like that.
Something like
I
yeah,
forgot the way she worded it when she asked him,
yeah.
and and then that's when he was showing her. She was like, I think she asked him like, do you love or who you think of when you fall, something like that. I forget what it was,
Yeah,
but
I remember what you're talking about.
something along the lines of like something about love, right? And
Mm-hmm.
him being smitten or whatever. And then that's when he showed her, and I'm like, oh, are they about to walk down the fucking sidewalk on it? You know what I'm saying? And then they kiss or some shit. But thankfully they didn't do that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I totally agree
yeah.
with what you said.
Hell yeah. But anyways, they showed her 4 key things. So they what they did was they essentially showed her the timeline in 8K 4D, not even 3D, better than that. What the destruction of society and of most humans was. And they gave dates as well. I don't know if you remember this, Corn.
I don't remember the
Um,
dates now.
well, luckily I got him here. So they called it the jackpot because they said that they felt that calling it apocalypse was a little too risque, if you will, a little too scary. You know how they like to pad words nowadays.
Yep.
Um, so they said you in your world right now are what we call the age of the cliff, which was essentially you're already it's over with. And Flynn's world is 2032, so we're talking about 9 years from now, if we want to apply this to real world time
Real
frames.
life.
Yeah. Um, they said in 2039 it started with a hack of the North American power grid. What have they been talking about lately?
Power
Hacking
grid.
power grids. They literally just started talking about this as being a threat by the Russians, or in this show, the Kleps. You know what I'm saying? Um, I mean, there's one you know connection, and it said it was a countrywide, months long power outage. Now you imagine how many people are gonna fucking die from that. And then the next one was a pandemic, another pandemic, a blood plague, and it was called the filovirus. And they said it fucking got into your organs and basically flooded your organs with blood until your abdomen burst and you died. They said that killed off a bunch of people. Then they said in 2041 it was total environmental collapse, droughts, famine, agricultural collapse, and antibiotic failures. And they said over 7 billion people died in over 4 decades. So for over 40 years, 7 billion people died. That's what they're saying in the show. And then they said the last and final, and last but not least, they called the end, quote unquote, was they called it. This is what they said. I'll quote: a domestic terrorist attack in the United States that blew up a nuclear missile silo in Spring Creek, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they fucking said in the show.
And that was the same thing they were trying to do in their timeline as well. When she
Exactly.
took off the yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they were trying to like speed it up
Yeah.
just to kill Flynn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
It's some wild shit,
I mean,
man.
dude, like there's a lot to unpack with that. With that scene, it was so quick, but they really played that scene off like it wasn't shit. But I'm like, bruh, y'all really just put these dates and real governments and states up in here like this?
Yep.
This what we doing? So you're telling me in motherfucking 20 years it's over with? That's what you're telling me on the show right now.
I think it's faster than that, but yeah,
Right.
I think they
2040,
did that to
yeah.
give us. I think they did that not just to foreshadow, but to kind of give us a general idea
Yeah, general idea, yeah.
of what's going to happen. Because I mean, the pandemic thing, everybody does that now. I mean, everybody's been doing that the whole. But
Facts.
once 2020 finally hit and everybody saw, it, they were like, "Oh, okay, now we
Mm-hmm.
see
Mm-hmm.
that whole disease thing ain't too far off, man."
Nope.
And then and then they said there's going to be another pandemic. The power grid one is going to be the big one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's
going to
gonna
be
be
the one
yep.
that's going to that's going to be. I think
Insane.
that's going to be the worst.
I would agree. I would agree.
I think that's going to be the absolute worst if that happens.
I would agree. Between that and then I mean the rest of it's just like okay just ice the rest of me then. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Agricultural collapse, like I mean, dude, like just the amount of destruction in those sentences I just read, like, is insane. And they were just like, yeah, all this stuff happened within basically 10 years.
4 decades,
4 decades. Yeah. And I'm just like, well, that's how many.
which is not long.
No, it's really not. It's really not.
It's nuts, man.
I mean, you gotta think how many people that would be around the world. 7 billion people died. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's what 8 now.
Yeah, I want to say that's almost our population.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's crazy to think about, man.
I
That,
mean,
and
that kind of goes off of our topic that we talked about last. What did we record last week, or maybe the week before? But the last time we recorded, remember what we talked about in terms of, well, there's a possibility that the people that are going to be left on the earth are going to be the ones. It's not going to be
oh
the
yes, yes,
natural human beings, the ones that
yes.
us that fought back and stuff. No, it's going to be the ones that the yes men. It's going to be the ones that said, okay, you want us to do this and inject this and do this and hide here and blah blah whatever. I think what this show did, or I guess what it's doing, is that it's showing us, hey, there's a possibility that here's another thing too, because other than the we'll call them, I forget the names for them, but the people that Alita were with, right? The quote unquote outsiders, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Other than them, they kind of over. Yes, we got the whole themes and the meaning of it, but they kind of overshadowed the fact that, well, to begin with, they had the stuff in their arms.
Facts.
To begin with, they were still being tracked
Facts.
the whole time. So I do believe that, did they say anything about the population in 2032 of their timeline?
No, but they referred to it as the point of no return essentially. So
In
like
20 for their timeline, not
yeah,
the
their
alternate
time.
one.
Yeah,
But
they said
okay,
we refer to your time as the point of no return or where the fuck I read the cliff
fuck.
basically
Hmm.
going over the
Yeah.
cliff. Yeah,
So, I mean, this could very well be. I mean, Flynn and Burton and all them, they could very well be part of that 1 billion people left over in the world that took the shit in the arm.
and which is also interesting because they're talking about a blood plague and you know we know what's. Anyways, I'm not gonna get. You already know. You already fucking know. The blood plague very interesting considering blood is essentially the life force in the body. Like then the motherfucking the zip zop zoobity bop basically um alters that. You know what I'm saying? And all you gotta do is add in some unknown pathogen to altered blood, and then altered cells, altered genes, and then there you go. Very real thing I could see.
Duplicate yourself inside of your body, and that shit just explodes.
Shit.
Or drown yourself in your own blood. And I guess it wouldn't be authentic, right? It would just be what, duplicated blood, cloned blood.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Hey, I've got a picture here. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can see it, Corn. But that's a picture of Burton's haptic implants on his back. There. You notice it goes up every single spinal column. I don't know if you can see that, Corn. If not, you'll see it on the. I'll probably see it on the replay. But
Yeah, I can't. I'll see it on a replay. I
yeah.
can't see anything.
Um, but yeah, it's that. Then it plus there's one in his arm, and it all, and he can control him and his buddies have all that shit. So yeah,
Yeah, because you go back to where I think it was Reese was in that hospital with the mom. Because remember he took the mom to the hospital,
yeah,
and then I gotta say that dude was a G. Hey, that Irish dude was a G though. I
he
forget his
was.
name. I think it was like Mark or Mike or something like that. But that dude, the way he just murked them dudes at that bar, the dude and his sons at the
Yeah,
bar, and
that
then
was
ran
some
over all the
badass shit. I
that
can't
shit
even lie.
was crazy.
That was some
But
badass shit.
yeah, if you go back to that hospital and the one friend of Reese's, that one was with Burton and all them, and you could see on his arm it kept blinking because they were trying to see if he had any vitals.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
What's the perfect way to sell that? What's the perfect way to sell that? I have a sick mother
Mm-hmm.
and she needs and I can't be home all the time and blah blah blah,
And if
and
we're connected together, then
I can tell if something's wrong. Or I don't know.
I could
It's
see that.
uh, that'll be the easiest way to fucking promote that shit.
Absolutely.
You have a sick elderly grandparent or whatever the fuck. Well, you can connect and be with them all the time. Whatever happened to fucking Skype? Whatever happened? Damn, at least do a
Well, no,
walkie-talkie or
you can do
something. Like,
this.
god damn.
You can do that, and then you get to you just talk to
Yeah,
him.
hey, they're making a world. They already said they all came in. All the world powers came out and said we want the world to be more accessible. We want everything to be more accessible to the people, to citizens in the world with less effort.
Facts.
So we're gonna get to a point now to where all you have to do to look, all I have to do to connect with somebody from all the way across the world, put on a headset.
Facts.
Or if I don't want to do that, throw a chip in there, and I can just within a flick of a fucking wrist or a snap of a finger, I can communicate with somebody. Or see a holograph of fucking Heavy J or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yep. Right.
Like this show is good on a lot of levels in terms of foreshadowing. I'll tell you all that much, man.
Yeah, that's its probably strongest suit, other than I think the cast selection and uh,
Oh yeah,
what
by
would
the
you
way,
say? Go ahead.
not to cut you off, man. I'm sorry, but I got to give this cast some credit, man, and whoever cast it because Chloe Grace Moretz, we already know her resume. The dude who played Burton, who's from Midsummer,
Hmm.
Midsommar. You got uh, I forget his first name. Gory, the dude who plays Connor,
Oh
who
yeah,
who, who
yeah, yeah.
played he played Ali,
That's oh
in that
shit.
one movie from last year.
That's right.
Like, dude, stellar cast, man, stellar fucking cast.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, what were you saying, man? Again, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to.
Uh,
I
hell,
was gonna forget about that if I didn't.
I don't even remember anymore.
But you said the show was good for its show act foreshadowing the cast and something else.
Oh, foreshadowing cast, and I was gonna ask you if you could think of a third thing, a third strength of the show besides the
Um,
foreshadowing and the
uh,
cast.
I mean, I'll just go back and use that one thing as an example. The dream or the daydream or whatever, the dream sequence of Connors,
Oh
which
yeah,
was putting you into that morality aspect of like,
yeah,
I know it's not the point of the show, but what would you do? You know what I mean? When you get in that situation where you have to ask yourself, damn, what would you do?
yeah.
I do like that in entertainment where it's like, damn, it kind of makes you think.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do that or would you go about it another way?
Mm-hmm.
So I fuck with that. Fuck with that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, what would you give the show out of 10 for this season? Out of 10,
Out of 10, I'm probably gonna go with a 7.
7. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 7 only because I say the first 2 episodes. Actually, you know what? I say the first episode and a half. Once you get like the first half of episode 2 was really good, but then the rest of episode 2, I'd say episodes 2, 3, and 4 were like, 4 kind of picked it up a little bit, but once you get to
Yeah,
5, 6, 7, 8, really good show. It kind of picks up from episode 1 because again, you got to go episode 2, 3, 4 is more like world building, kind of
yeah,
story building,
yeah.
character building as well.
They had to
But
like
once you get to
explain the whole setup too. Like it's just super
yeah,
complex. Like
yeah,
it's
that's
yeah,
that's why I say, man, 12 episodes would have been perfect
exactly,
because you would have had those buffer episodes where it's like, but then you got you got 8 other episodes or 7 other episodes
exactly,
where you can literally dive real deep into what you're trying to explain to us, and by the time you get to the end of the season, it can go off because I feel like the end of the season would have been better if they would have been more. I wouldn't even say more detailed. If they just would have gave it more room to breathe, like
exactly,
if they just would gave us more time to like digest everything, because it's like,
exactly.
oh, this means that, or then you're right into the next scene, and it's some more vital information that you have to
Exactly.
consume,
Vital
and
information
then
after vital information after
yeah,
vital
it's just vital
information.
information after vital
Yeah,
information, and I felt like I was kind of
yeah.
like I'm like, damn, am I in fucking like law school at this point, like, where I have to like start writing
Yeah,
every fucking thing down that they're showing
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Because it's literally just vital information after yeah, like you said, vital information after vital information. And by the time you get to that last episode and you see her telling Connor to, hey, I got this new uh body uploaded, whatever. I forgot what she was, because I just remember getting to the scene where she's asking him, where she's like, I want you to know, she's like, you do, Connor, you do know what I'm asking you to do, right? And he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think I do. So yeah, yeah, I
I
think
think
they
I do.
hey, he sounds like a legit dude from Texas.
Oh fuck
That
yeah,
accent, like
fuck yeah.
I was like, niggas from Texas sound like that too. Like he was like, I think I do. It's like, but but when, yeah, you get to the last episode where she's looking off and then she looks back and all of a sudden you just hear the gunshot,
Hmm.
and I'm just like, so I do want to ask you about that part too before I ask you what you rate this show.
Okay.
which I could probably get a general understanding of what you're. But I do want to ask you. So did she? So correct me if I'm wrong. She uploaded herself, not uploaded, but she created with that information that she has um, in the bacteria in her brain, right? She created another body or duplicated another body
I think she
in the different timeline
I think she created a whole new like
world.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I know she's going to another world, but I didn't know she's the one that created it. That's why I
Yeah.
was like, that's why I
She
kind of got confused at because I was like, okay, you say you have another body, so where did so which one did she off? She didn't off her human self, right? She offed herself
No, she offed
from
her
that.
human
From,
self and stayed in that and moved for I think it was like 2038, wasn't it? Or something
yeah,
like that she went to?
yeah, where her and Connor met up at,
Yeah.
right? That was
Yeah.
2038.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think so. I think it was
okay,
2038. But yeah, yeah, she
damn,
offed her human self back in that time, and her and Connor met up. Yeah, in the future.
damn. I got to go back and watch that last episode because
I need to go back and watch that again too. I only watched that last
because
episode twice.
I got kind of confused because I'm like, her mom didn't die yet, did she? Or did they already fast forward to where her mom died?
Uh, shit.
Because
Well, they
why would she
told her
off
that
herself?
because they showed her the obituary, right?
Yeah, they showed the obituary, but that was at the beginning of the show.
But I thought after they gave her the experimental medicine and it worked, and then she went blind again. They said that
Yeah,
that she had like they calculated how many days was it, like 27,
55 or something like
50,
that.
yeah, some random
They
amount of
said,
days.
yeah, they were like, she has 53 days or something. Like that. She was like, that's
Yeah,
only such and such weeks or some shit or some. No, 50 something hours or
50 some
I forget what
hours.
the fuck it
Yeah,
was.
that's what it was.
Yeah, it was such a short amount of fucking time, and I was just
Yeah.
like, really? And then so they did that, and then that's when she was like, "Was isn't there something you can do? You're the highest of the high." And I ain't talking me right now, she's like you're the highest of the high of the totem pole, whatever the fuck. She was like, "Isn't there something you can do?" And she's like, "No." She's like, I'm afraid not. There's something I can do." And that's when I remember, didn't that where she turned around and asked Wilfred? She was like, "Didn't you tell me, you motherfucker? Didn't you fucking tell me
Yeah.
that there was something they could do about
Yeah.
this?" And then Wilfred's like,
Yeah, basically.
um. So when that happened, so she did upload herself. Okay, so she uploaded herself into a new world. Um, this is crazy. I gotta rewatch this, man.
I need
But
to re
I will say, at least all going off my initial watch, it's 7 out of 10, man.
Okay. That's fair. I'm gonna give it I don't know, bro. I was hyped on it. I think I'm gonna give it like an 8.5. I'm between 8 and 8.5. So we'll say 8.25. Yeah. I'm like I feel like 8.5 is too high, but I feel like eight's too low. So we'll say 8.25. I'll give it an 8.25.
You more detailed than the show is, bro.
That's just how complex the show is, though, man. Like shit like this, where I gotta like do a math problem to figure out what the scene is. Like I don't know, I like that shit, especially when the plot's good and the acting's good and the characters are
Yeah,
good. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm good at that point. Like I can jive with that. But yeah, overall, I think it was a really good show. I think it's definitely worth the time invested.
yeah.
If anything, if anything, is good entertainment, and also, I mean, there's a lot of, like we said, a lot of foreshadowing on the shit, a lot of potential possibilities in our reality for that shit. So
Yeah.
it's something to good to kind of keep an eye out for, you know.
I know. I wish we would have watched it in real time, man. Like as it was airing,
Oh, I
because
know, right?
that would have been a lot more. I mean, this is fun and all, but that would have been a lot more fun just because we would have been able to digest each and dissect each and every episode
Yeah,
as you know what I mean,
yeah,
because it
for
was
sure.
coming out weekly on Amazon. So you know,
That's right.
but hey, season two we'll be able to do that.
That's right.
So but yeah, I do want to ask you too when it comes to this show. Okay,
Hmm.
uh, when it in terms of the Black Mirrors of the world, the uploads of the world. There's a show on Amazon called The Feed.
Oh, I heard about
all
that.
that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Like with all those kind of shows, where would you rank this amongst those? Would you rank this at the top? Because I've never really seen you this excited about, all that kind of stuff.
No, I wouldn't
Not,
rank it. I
I
wouldn't
haven't
rank it
seen
at the
you this,
top.
I haven't seen you this. I wouldn't say hype, but I guess this interest. I guess interested hype. I haven't seen you
Eh,
really as hyped about a show since like when Black Mirror was like the end joint. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Back when that was airing on
that was the
Netflix.
end all be all. Yeah. I would say, I would say it doesn't top Black Mirror. Black Mirror is still cream of the crop for that type of stuff for me. Anyway,
Yeah,
um,
that hit on so many. It
it
hit
hit
because
on
that's
so many
because it hits on
levels,
so many different things.
and at the
You
time
know?
it hit, and like nobody else was doing it. Like I don't know. It
Yeah.
just Black
Now
Mirror
it's too many.
changed the
It's too many
game.
people looking for Black Mirror, man.
Yeah,
That's why I was kind of skeptical about it coming back, but we'll see.
facts. Yeah, we'll see what happens with it. Um, but I'd rank it definitely below Black Mirror. I'd say out of the five dystopian science fiction whatever movies I watched recently, or movies. See, here I go again. TV shows I watched recently, I would probably put it at like 3 or 2. You know what I'm saying? Probably like 3.
We still have to wait for this joint to finish too. I mean,
Right,
it
right. It ain't over with yet. It could even get better, or it could get worse.
yeah.
But they
I
got
really hope it doesn't get
they left
worse. I
so many
really
fucking
hope it doesn't.
doors open though. Like I mean,
Yeah,
they can only build on everything that they've already kind of prepped us for.
yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see, man.
It's gonna be interesting too because I do feel like in season two, if Flynn built this world, this new world we're talking about,
Hmm.
um, there's gonna be some power struggle.
Oh,
There's gonna
absolutely.
be some. There's gonna be some. Flynn is gonna. They're gonna have to show us that. They're gonna have to show us now what it's gonna be like to be the person that controls everything in a
Oh
world
yeah.
and the
Oh yeah.
struggles of that.
Oh yeah.
And what's the morality? I can't wait till we get to the moral stuff in season two when it comes to that. I mean,
Yeah.
that's if they even if they do it,
Oh,
but
they probably will.
hopefully they do.
They
Hopefully
probably
they do
will.
that.
They got to. Yeah, they got
Facts.
to.
Who
But
do you think she
yeah.
falls in? I mean, again, I don't really go. This is just a random ass question. Who do you think she goes with? You think she goes with she thinks she goes with Tommy the cop, the sheriff, or you think she goes with Wilfred?
Or do you think she goes with Connor?
Damn, I'm dead. The
Three
only three black
nickels.
dudes.
She got
The
three
only three
nickels to
black.
choose from.
Um,
Which one's the shiniest?
you know, you know what's funny? I thought they were gonna kill Connor and
I
Burton
thought so too.
in this, but um, and to be honest, I like their backgrounds. I like all their fucking backgrounds.
I do
I like the
too.
story. I like the backstory between, and I like the what do you call it? Not the flash. It's a flashbacks. I guess you can say yeah. I like the flashbacks that they do and the reference that they do with her and her dad as well. Her Burton and their dad
Yeah,
as
facts.
well. And
Facts.
I like the fact that they put the dad's presence in that show,
I do too.
because
And
it did need to be there for certain elements. I feel like just me being a movie guy, right, or not even to movie, but a guy that just I feel like you need that kind of plot in there,
yeah.
um, for character development. So I do like the fact they did that. The Tommy sheriff guy, I like him. I like the fact that he murked the one sheriff.
Yeah, facts. I love that.
I thought that was
That scene was
stupid.
awesome.
Yeah, that scene was awesome because, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing. It's awesome because you saw him battling
Hmm.
with, am I going to walk? Am I just gonna fucking eat shit and walk away like I
Hmm.
always do? Because I've been in that, not in that exact, not nearly in that kind of situation. But I want to rephrase that. I've not been in a situation before, but I have been in a situation of, damn, I'm being told I have to do this, and I don't agree with doing this,
Right.
right? But I have somebody over me telling me you have to do this. You signed a contract. You have to do everything I fucking say. And police work is kind of similar, but not really because yeah, you do kind of sign something, but it's not really a contract.
Right.
You can kind of tell somebody to fuck off.
Right.
But uh in this situation, it's this. Did you feel like the scene was too long? or did you feel like this scene was just right? Because I feel like at first I was like, damn, if he doesn't kill him, this scene is going to be too long. But the fact
Yeah.
that the fact that he pulled out the fact that he pulled out the gun and just shot him, I was like, yeah, okay, finally we got that because it kept showing the battling of him. Because I was like, if he just walks away, this is taking way too damn long.
Right.
I'm like,
I agree.
we're just gonna end up back in this position again where he's gonna have to do it. And then he ended up doing it, and then and we knew he was gonna fuck up when he grabbed that one joint, and then
Hmm.
fucking did it to Pickett, and then
See,
Pickett goes to the window. I was like, bro, he's still alive. There's no fucking way he's dead from that.
right? He didn't. He
Maybe in
didn't
real
put it
life
up
he
to
might
his
be dead.
chest or nothing. They remember they had to
No,
put it up to their chest to kill him.
yeah,
But he
yeah,
obviously he didn't know that.
he
But
did it from he did it from like feet away, and I'm
yeah,
just like, bro, I guess gonna come back and bite. I
right.
think he's a dead man. If he doesn't get, I think whether he gets with Flynn or not, I think he's a dead man.
Yeah, I agree.
Just for letting Pickett live.
I
I
agree.
think because we know Pickett's a bad guy, so he's gonna have to kill somebody. There's gonna be a lot of dead bodies in season 2.
Facts. Like I said, because there's so many damn doors open. There's so many loose ends still. You
Hmm.
know.
Oh yeah. I don't know if we were gonna get to this or not, but before I forget, because I almost forgot. Um, I forget the friend's name, the chick. That's the friend. Was it Barbie or Barbers or whatever the fucking name was?
Oh yeah.
Um, Flynn's friend, the one where Flynn was like, "You told your husband whatever the fuck his name is,"
Yeah.
and she was like, "Trust him, he's my man," or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Let's go back to this guy, that railroad track scene.
Oh my god.
He said, "Oh my god."
Can you
How did you
remember
feel about that?
why he was asked to off them?
No, he wasn't asked
Well,
off them.
not
Remember,
asked.
he felt he was because remember his uncle is Pickett.
Yes.
They thought Pickett was dead, I believe, or some shit like that. And
Yeah.
then so they were just being ass, just dudes being assholes, like complete pieces of shits to him. And then
Yep.
obviously he's just sitting there in his SUV or whatever the fuck, contemplating, just looking, observing, reading the room per se, right?
Yep.
Um, and he's like, "Fuck it, man." And like I, dude, I'm sitting there, I'm like, bruh, this dude is straight savage because I didn't know what he was doing at first. And then the camera pans out and goes from the fucking car, I mean, from the van, and all of a sudden you see the fucking railroad
The
tracks in there. I
railroad
was like,
tracks.
oh, yo, this dude is straight fucking savage. So he gets out. I didn't know that he locked the keys in there.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing for me
Yeah.
until he went back.
Oh,
So
I
I'm
didn't
like,
either until then too. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay, so he's gonna go up there on the hill. He's gonna call his wife and kind of like, I did something bad tonight.
Yeah.
Blah blah. Remember that time you told me blah whatever? And she's like,
Yeah.
I didn't mean that. And he's like, no, yeah, you did. You're just saying that because you think whatever the fuck you're thinking right now. And then that's when she repeats herself. She's like, no, I didn't really think that. And then she tells him whatever the fuck. Which I mean, to be honest, even in real life, I think if you call your woman and she says, "Oh, I didn't really mean that," look, man, it depends on the situation. It depends on how important. But I don't know if you call somebody at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you say, "You remember that time you saw," and somebody told you you didn't. That means they're trying to talk you out of doing whatever the fuck you're getting ready to do.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but then he changed his mind. He's like, "Oh, she talked me out of it." Pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much the way they try to make it seem like that she kind of talked him out of it because he changed his mind. Like, "Oh, she didn't really mean what she said that night in Monopoly." So he runs down into the railroad tracks, tries to get these people out, these assholes out of the van
Yeah.
that he locked them in when they were passed out drunk on the railroad tracks. And he can't get them out. The train's coming. Of course. How ironic, right?
Right. He sat there forever with nothing, and then as soon as he
Yeah.
moved it over, the
And then as
train
soon as he
comes.
changed his mind,
Yep. Yep.
I'm like, you couldn't break the window open or nothing. Um,
That's what I'm
so
saying. But that's another story.
so obviously the train comes and it kills those guys, and he's just he stands there for a little bit, and doesn't he ends up running off, doesn't he?
Um.
And then that's the last thing we see of that whole storyline.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're
Yeah.
gonna pick up. They're obviously gonna pick that back up in
Yeah.
season
That's gonna
two.
have to be picked back up because you know.
Yeah, um, yeah. He's gonna get caught up in a whole bunch of shit in season. I feel like he's gonna get caught up in a whole bunch of shit in season two.
Yep.
But how did you feel about that whole situation? Because that's a whole that again to go back to with me. I'm real big on the whole morality thing when it comes to these shows, and it's like they really they didn't have to show us any of that shit
Mm-mm.
like that. That's a storyline that clearly was not meant for season one. So that's going to have to pick back up in season 2 because it may. I mean, relatively, that makes no sense for season 1. His
Right.
uncle's still alive.
Right.
He just killed a bunch of assholes. Something's going to happen, right?
Right.
Um, whether the cops get him or whether his uncle gets him for
Yeah.
killing his men. So
Yeah. Whoever gets to him first, pretty
yeah, yeah,
much.
yeah. It's gonna be a whole thing, man. But how do you feel about that? Just the whole like morality, the whole morale situation of what I mean. Why I keep saying morale, moral situation of of the of this story.
um, you talking about the whole thing or just that particular part?
No, that particular part.
Um, I don't know. I mean, morals. I mean, we've talked about this. Morals don't exist in outside of Earth. You know, there's no morality in the ether. You know what I'm saying? So that part makes that part makes it hard to, I guess, pinpoint for me. But I would say, um, I think that morally he probably, um, how do I put this? I'm trying to think how the best way for me to put this is. Like morally, he did what he thought. Well, basically, this what I think happened. I think that he's been putting up with a bunch of shit. His wife gives him shit, but it's all in good fun, in good in love. You know, you can tell she's definitely about him. You know what I'm saying? But she still gives him shit. These guys are give him shit constantly because they know he won't do anything. She said herself he wouldn't hurt a fly or whatever. He won't hurt
Hmm.
anybody, especially not Flynn. You know, um, and he had it that night, and I don't think he gave a fuck about the morals. I think he just was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm doing it. It's like I've never, and it's like, of course, the one impulse thing you can tell this guy's ever done his entire life. Like, look how it turns out. You
Yep,
know what I'm saying? Like
yep. That's what I was
the
getting.
one
Yep.
time, the one time he tries to stand up for himself, like, look what
Look at how
happens.
severe it is.
Yeah, and how severe it is.
I'm
And
watching another show right now where a dude went through the exact same, not the exact same, but he's going through the exact same thing, mentally and emotionally, where he's like, dude never stood up for himself. At least obviously do the show, his character do the show,
mm-hmm,
never stood up for himself or whatever. The one time he does, the one time he sits up for his family,
mm-hmm.
kills a woman. And it's just like, bruh, they,
Yeah, I mean
it's
that's
it's 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 tough seeing. Again, this is entertainment we're talking about, guys. But at
right.
the same time, it makes you think, man. It's like fuck, man. A lot of times in life, we go through these. I won't even say phases, but we go through different situations, right? Different uh, eras, or I
Yeah,
guess chapters of our life where we do feel like we're in that position where we're like, fuck, man, I've not necessarily given up this whole time, or it's just like, man, I've for whatever reason, I've been a weak person,
mm-hmm,
or what, and not physically, but just maybe mentally, whatever. You spiritually, you could be weak spiritually,
yeah.
but being a weak person, weak-minded person, and then the one time you say, you know what, enough
You know
is
what?
enough.
Fuck this and fuck you.
Yeah. And then it comes out to be something very terrible that that person does.
Yeah.
And then that's where it's like, damn, man, it sometimes it makes you think that there's certain ways of going about standing up for yourself. And again, like every situation is going to be different. Sometimes it might have to be something physical, but most
Mm-hmm.
times it's usually something that doesn't have to be solved physically.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'd
And
say 90+% of the time.
yeah. So I mean, this instance, man, it's just like, man, because it really makes you think, because you're watching a show, you're like, oh yeah, of course, kill them, put them in the fucking, leave them in the truck. They're drunk as passed out, whatever, because it's a show. But
Right.
you also have to think, man, you're like, if this was real life, how would you deal with that?
Right.
You know?
Especially with the theme of the show, which is kind of just what you just said, man. If this were real life, how the fuck would I deal with that?
Yeah.
You know, it just
It's
kind of
like it's
invokes that in you. You know, so
and it's and Jaron, I mean, we both know each other really well, so we already know. But almost everything I view, I'll always look at it that way. I mean, unless it's something like super outrageous, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm sitting there watching a cartoon like, what would I do
mm-hmm.
in this situation? No, I
Right.
don't.
No.
But you know what I mean. But shows like this, where it's like every single turn, I'm thinking to myself, like, how would I react in that situation? How
Right.
would I go about this?
Right.
How would I?
How
So
fucked or
I
not
mean,
fucked would I be?
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. I get that, but shit, if we weren't that type of people, that's why we wouldn't have this podcast.
Facts,
You know what I mean?
facts,
Shit.
facts.
Oh yeah. But shit, man. Any you got any other parts of this season you want to bring up? Um. Oh, you did ask me what I would rate it 1 out of 10. I already answered that. Never mind.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You're right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Nermeen.
Um, Not that I can really think of, man. I mean, the mom had it bad in this show. I'll tell
Mm-hmm.
you that much.
Yes,
But
that's a fact.
I mean, again, that's what happens. Like it's weird too. In these shows always, and I won't even say shows, entertainment in general. It's always either somebody's in debt or somebody has a sick loved one that they
Yep.
have to,
Pretty much.
and it's I don't know, man.
Pretty
I
much.
mean, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing that they always use those two tropes.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, it didn't affect the show any in terms of like the quality of the show, but I'm just like, does it have to be another sick, relative, parent, sibling, whatever the fuck? Or
Yep.
does somebody have to be a piece of shit and be in, I want to say, be an alcoholic and be in debt, all this kind of depth and all this other, like, can it just be something else, anything else? You know what I mean? But yeah, but
Yeah.
this is
For
definitely like
real.
I mean, this is definitely like Ready Player One on like steroids. I
That's
like
fair.
Ready Player One was a really good movie, but this is like just
Next
very
level.
more detailed
Yeah.
on steroids, a lot more realistic.
Yeah.
And it's weird that we're using realistic when we're talking about times being linear with each other and shit.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, what's new? I mean, that's not the new that we talked on here. We talked about linear time a lot on here. So
Yep. Yep.
linear time
Linear
simulations
or not simulations, man. All that shit. I
with
don't
this new
get
world.
shit.
With this new world that she's creating, you think she's going to be the you think she's in control of a simulation at this point?
Uh, yeah, she gonna have to be to fight. What's her name? So yeah, I would say so. I feel like she's gonna need all the power she can get.
Facts. Those fight scenes were ill too, and
Yeah,
I
it had
gotta
some good
say,
fight scenes. Yeah, it had some good
Chloe
fight
Grace
scenes.
Moretz is supposed to be doing a spinoff of John Wick.
Oh wow.
So and yeah, she's like the lead and like I think I don't know if you saw the third John Wick, but she was in the ballet joint. She was that ballet character,
Okay.
so she's supposed
Okay.
to have that spinoff. So Chloe Grace Moretz,
Wow.
she's really good with them stunts, man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Shout out to all them actors on there too. It was good.
Yeah,
It was good. Yeah, man, I'm hyped for season 2. I think it'd be cool. Um, like I said, a lot of open doors, and I'd like to see some of them get closed. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was just one long teaser. Honestly, like
yeah,
they should have really added another 4 episodes to it, and then it would have I probably would have gave it a 9 if that was the case. Just because it's
yeah.
just
I
so
mean, I
cramped. Like if
yeah,
you gave 12 solid episodes in the first season,
yeah.
then
I
maybe the
mean, I
second or third, go to 8 or whatever. But you got to get the information out the right way.
yeah,
You shouldn't have to watch it 3 times to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I mean, but I have to say that's a good thing too.
It is. It does have it. Yeah, it does have its good parts for sure.
The rewatchability on it.
Yeah,
Um,
you can rewatch it and not get bored at all. Like I rewatched
yeah,
it
that's
and
what
I
I'm
didn't
saying.
get
It's not
bored
a show
or
where it's like, oh, I gotta rewatch this again. No,
facts.
it's like, well, there's stuff I missed in it.
Facts.
I gotta watch it again.
Facts.
And it's enjoyable.
Facts.
Um, I could talk about the whole fucking that whole video game aspect of it
Oh yeah.
all day, fucking all day long.
Oh yeah.
About when Connor and Burton got to that tower with old girl and had
Mhm.
to fight up going up the levels and shit.
Mhm. I know what you're
I
talking about.
I dude, I definitely thought they were gonna die when they got to the top. Um, to that last one, but then obviously old girl ended up fucking him up. But yeah, man, good show, good show,
Yeah. Very good show.
good show.
Y'all should definitely check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. 8 episodes, unfortunately, but it is what it is. They were all fire for the most part. So, um, hell yeah, man. Well, shit. In that case, I guess that will wrap up our The Peripheral review. Shout out to everybody who has watched this. Shout out to all our supporters. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit the like. Make sure y'all comment. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all get the merch. You know what I'm saying? Links in the description for all that shit. Stay tuned. We'll probably be doing more reviews on more shit as we see. You know, this isn't our first. This ain't gonna be our last. You know what I mean? So you'll see some more shit from us. But
And once we get more time, like both of us
yeah,
have more
facts.
time off,
Coming soon, by the way.
I'm dead. Once
Hopefully.
we both get more time off, I do want to I'm gonna invite Jaren on a hat. We're gonna especially once goddamn, I
Bel Air
keep wanting to
season
call it
two.
Fresh Prince. I keep wanting to call it fucking Fresh
I
Prince.
know, right?
Bel Air season 2 comes out. We'll talk more about it. I don't want to say anything too ahead of time, but there is going to be a way we're going to review it. I don't know if it's going to be the week by week if you want to do that, or if it's going to be the whole thing once it ends. We'll let y'all know. I don't even know when that even comes out, but it is at some point this year.
Mega
So
facts. I think it's
be on the
February, bro. I
lookout.
think it's February.
February?
I think it's February. I think it's like mid to late February. Yeah.
That soon?
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
shit,
hyped. I can't lie.
bro! February is about to be lit
I
because
know.
um a couple of my other shows already started this month. So February is gonna be lit. But anyways,
Hold.
yeah. So be be on the lookout for that. Because yeah, Heavy J and yeah, we gonna be back on that Bel Air joint. All right.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well shit. Thanks everybody for watching again. It's your boy Heavy J. It's Corn. It's Contemporary Comrades Podcast.
You already
And
know.
we out.
Peace out.
Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Deuces.